When I click this button, the game I've been making for 3.5 years will be published. And with only 5,000 wishlists, probably die the second it's born. Here goes! Wishlists are the main reasons indie games fail and get buried to never be seen again. But it's not just wishlists. Over 3 years ago, when I was just starting to make my dream game, I was naive and hopeful. And it's some good in the world, I think. All these colors. Making many mistakes, which today I can recognize as major reasons Primal Fray will fail. Today, I will tell you what makes games succeed. And vice versa, what dooms them to fail. What exactly doomed my game to fail, and why despite of it, it's still a great game. This is Primal Fray, and it absolutely blows my mind that every main feature of the game turned out to be a marketing flaw. So let's talk about them one by one, starting from the fact that it's a strategy game. Since the start, the idea was to make monsters like Pokemon walk on a grid like heroes. For me, it was the coolest thing ever. Imagine if he could just... But it has proven to be a more difficult message to pitch to the audience than I thought. Whenever I went to a conference, people couldn't get it. Mechanics take time to get used to, especially if the game is a quite complex strategy game. It's a difficult thing to teach others play, especially in the age of Google Maps navigation and AAA titles.
On the next intersection, climb the rock in front.
Take what was considered a major indie strategy game success, just a while back, Into the Breach. The game most people compared Primal Fray to. And it has just 12,000 reviews? A lot of us would love to get 12,000 reviews, but it's a prodigy title, crafted and cared for multiple years, and you can almost get the same numbers doing a voxel tutorial in 3 weeks. But I digress. Let's now go to the next reason my game will fail, which is the fact that it's too bright and colorful. Yes, you heard me right. My game will fail because it's freaking bright and colorful. But Imago, I love colorful games. Oh yeah? Then look at this! These are stats for most proficient Steam tags. And yes, some of those are blown up by massive titles. But look at the dark and colorful tags. Dark is 4 times more profitable than colorful. That's right, 4 times! Let's imagine you make a random game of any genre. You have figured out mechanics and whatnot, and have to choose a style for it. If you choose this one, you will make 4 times less money. This is a big success. But that wouldn't be. But color palette is not all. Let's get to the next reason, that being my game having no hook. You heard of hooks. Hook being something that draws you in to learn more about the game. A game in which you manage a cult. It's Cult of the Lamb. Did you know no one cared for it before they started saying that? Before it was roguelike but with relationship system. Yeah, no one cared. So let's look at my game. You collect primals from 5 elements. Travel the rift, making difficult choices, battle enemies on hex-based map, managing mana and set up combos. Is it a good bunch of mechanics I play like an addict whenever I have to record? Yes. Is there a hook? No. Try to explain what this game is to me in 1 sentence, in such a way that I'm interested to play it. My best take is what you probably already heard. What if Pokemon could walk on the battlefield? But it's... Next, let's dunk on pixel art. And why... Just don't make it, man. Oh my god, pixel art sucks! Not only it's super time consuming to draw and animate, but it's also so static. Making a 2D game in general is a stupid idea for people who hate themselves. And I will tell you why on this neat example. Take a random guy, making a first ever devlog for the first ever game he's ever making. He chooses a 3D engine and just runs, man. He can yap in the back, talking about bells and whistles the game will have but currently doesn't. And it's so easy to record. It's easy to get constant movement to keep the dopamine flowing. And now take a look at my game. Recording it in a way that's interesting is a hellish nightmare. It always looks the same, and if you want to not bore someone to death, you have to constantly...
They just teleported! Oh, hell no!
And it's way more work. That's why my game got so much better when I added camera movement. But even still, even with the camera movement added, it's much more work to film engaging content on a 2D game than a 3D one. You like my game? That's too bad, because it will fail. And the next reason why is that it was way too much work. And of the topic of work, this video is so much work. So like and subscribe if you'd like to see more from me in the future. I told you a second ago that you collect primals from 5 elements. Travel the rift, making difficult choices, battle enemies, and hack by snap, managing mana and set up combos. But did you know that you can also defeat bosses by upgrades in base, which actually improves visually as you do so, talk with primals to learn their stories, which is sometimes different based on the hero you are playing as. Yes, there are heroes with different mechanics, endings and interactions, mostly with set bosses. And also there are 5 biomes, over 50 primals drawn from 3 perspectives frame by frame. There are over 700 animations in the game and God knows how many sprites. There is more dialogues written than in Silent Hill 2, and to make matters worse, they are translated to 15 languages. Yes, freaking 15. When you finish playing the game, filling a codex of 50 primals, collecting their stories and mastering the game, there is a full-fledged endgame mode with a variety of challenges. And if that's not enough for you, you can also challenge your friends for a 1v1, and there is a whole draft system and a custom map making tool for you to organize an offline tournament if you want it. Why did I all that? Passion, I guess. But also stupidity. It's just too much work for a single person. And a waste of time, and no one actually sees all that. Because people will play for a few hours instead of like 30 required to reach the full potential of the game. It took me 10 hours to speedrun all the achievements, and I'm an expert player, mind you, with 1,000 hours of experience. I made this game! So yeah, not sure why exactly I did all that work, but you know what?
This is fine.
Oh yeah, and also, there is no protagonist! Have you heard of protagonists? Heroes, maybe? You know, characters you like, who are hot and you want to write smut about them. The driving force of every major franchise like ever. Yeah, me neither. Primal Fray just wasn't designed around having a protagonist. The main focus are the primals, monsters you collect. But there are 50 of them and it's difficult to relate to them due to their unique nature. I decided to do it this way because of nostalgia, I guess. Do you remember Gormiti? Was that a thing in your childhood? It's a toy I don't see brought up that often. Maybe it wasn't that popular, but it definitely was the thing for me. I had like 100 of those, playing all day, imagining they have different powers and tribes and... Oh yeah, I just made my childhood fantasy on PC. Damn, I guess it's awesome, but it's difficult to feel that way when the game is just so hard to promote. Bright, time-consuming pixel art strategy without a hook or a protagonist. That's Primal Fray for you, baby! And it just released. Just now, this second, on all platforms too. Buy it on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and yeah, Nintendo's coming in a month. But on PC specifically, I'm starting with something special. 40% discount out of the get-go. You heard me right, 40 freaking percent. It won't be as cheap for multiple years to come. Just now. So go do it now. Oh, and leave a positive review while you're at it. The first 24 hours are the most important. It's a seriously great game, even if difficult to market.